Hey, it's Savvy Shell. I wanted to come in and do another video, so I'm sipping some tea. Let's get into these updates. It's Mother's Day, yay! And happy Mother's Day to all the moms, biological, adoptive, spiritual, whatever, the gamut, right? Happy Mother's Day. Momming ain't easy. And this year and a half, almost year and a half as a mom has taught me a lot. I won't get into all of my learnings or teachings, I should say, but it's been worth it. There have been a few bumps and bruises, but count it all joy. Speaking of which, let's get into why I am shooting this video. Savvy's pregnant. I can't say it was a surprise, but it felt like a surprise, like a big surprise. So if you follow me on social media, you've seen a couple of the posts that I've done, right, where I talk about, the decision to have another child, how it's not an easy one, making the adjustment to the first one was pretty difficult, pretty tough, right? And now that I finally feel like I have some semblance of myself back, and being able to balance, my husband was like, let's try for a boy. He really has had that itch. He's really been putting it in my ear, boy. And I get it, when we got married, I did say that, I would sign up twice for pregnancy. A couple of months ago when he started really getting at me, I really wanted to renege, like, for real. I threw out every reason why we should not have a second one. But, I wouldn't say I made a promise, but, I did say I would give it 2 go-arounds. So here we are. And they say every pregnancy is different. This one has definitely already been a little different. And here's why. This time there's some fatigue, not as bad. The nausea is not as bad. This time, though, I was tripping. Literally. I went out, I remember, I went to the store. I went to, I think, DSW one day. And I'm not lying. I tripped like 7 or 8 times in the store. Nothing on the floor, wasn't even trying on shoes. I was just tripping, y'all. I was just tripping over Jack Tripper tripping in the store, okay? And at one point I just kept saying, what the heck? Why do I keep tripping in the store? I was just clumsy that day. So that was the first thing. The other thing was, and looking back, hindsight's always 2020. The other thing has been, I've had these shooting pains in my breast, right? And so I keep everything in my phone. There's an app for everything, right? So I track my period days, and I look at my app, my Flow app, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is PMS, because it was in that window of PMS symptoms, right? But I'm having these shooting pains in my breast, and I'm like, this is not normal for me, right? But as women, as we get older, we know our cycles can change, right? And our PMS symptoms can change. So I'm just, saying, okay, well, maybe it's that, right? But I just kept getting these shooting pains. Third thing, insomnia. My insomnia or inability to go to, not really the inability to sleep, because once I'm asleep, I'm out. But just the inability to get to sleep has been very, very difficult. This time around, I can literally stay up till 2 o'clock easy. But it was worse this time. And those are symptoms that I did not have with Cubby. So the other night, I'm lying in bed and I'm having all of these at one time, right? And this was early Saturday, so yesterday, day before Mother's Day, right? And I'm and your girl keeps pregnancy tests at home now, right? I just keep pregnancy tests. So I go to my drawer and I'm it's not, well, technically it is early morning, because they tell you to take the test, right, early in the morning. Well, the HCG hormone is relatively high. So I'm like, okay, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Let me just see. Let me just, indulge myself here and just see if I'm pregnant. Y'all, that second line was so disrespectful in the immediacy upon which it appeared. Like, I was sitting on the toilet peeing, like holding it in the stream of urine as I peed, and it just came up like, sis, you're pregnant. And I was like, I just sat on the toilet and stared, and in disbelief, because yes, on the one hand, I kind of was like, I feel like I might be pregnant, but I don't really know. And unlike with Cubby, we weren't planning. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. And honestly, I was in my head where I'm planning beginning in July. So much for my plans, right? That's how it always works. At any rate, it came up positive. I didn't even tell my husband. I just went back to bed. I was like, nah. I'm going to let it sit overnight. And I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to see if that line fades. Wishful thinking, right? I couldn't even go back to sleep. I woke up, or I tossed and turned really, because I did not get a wink of sleep. I tossed and turned for about an hour. And I looked over on the nightstand. And it was even darker. And I said, you're pregnant. Okay.
Y'all, it's 5:02 in the morning. And I've been up all night. Want to know why I've been up all night? Check this out. See that? Did y'all see that? Yeah. And it's literally Mother's Day weekend. Yay! I'm speechless, clearly. Pray for me. Send me good vibes.
I just accepted it, internalized it, somewhat, because I'm not gonna lie, the next morning, when I think it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I did stay up the whole night, just like talking to Jesus. I went and got the digital test. Like I said, I keep tests. I went and got the digital test, took the digital test, and it was like, yes, plus. So that was the cherry on top. It's like, sis, I'm putting a stamp on it. You're pregnant. Yay. So that was my gift for Mother's Day. I get to be a mom again. And I have to be honest and say, I'm not overjoyed. I'm not sad. I'm somewhat overwhelmed. And that can go either way. But I am taking it all in stride. I'm prayerful that it is a boy, because I really, really, really want this to be it. Like, 2 times, and that's it. And my husband and I, we had that discussion, like, what if it's another girl? Then what? And he was like, then it's another girl. So he accepts that 2 times is my max. So I'm happy about that. What else? Let's just talk a little bit, random thoughts, right? Why does creating life feel so much like death? Marinate on that. Why does the creation of life, like, why does this first trimester feel like I'm dying? Meaning, let me just qualify this. It's hard for me to get out of bed, right? It's hard for me to, like, motivate myself to get out of bed. Physically, I feel like crap. Mentally, I'm somewhat drained in that I have competing interests right now and don't quite know what to prioritize. And I don't feel like giving up, but it's just, you know, it's a readjustment. It's a realignment. It's accepting what's going on, and it feels like part of me's dying again, right? And I get that a baby is being manufactured. So I am trying to focus on being, motivated and happy to bring forth life again, a healthy individual. But I feel like crap. Mostly it's physical. Some of it is, like I said, emotional. And let's just be honest, like financially, things could be better. They aren't bad, but they could definitely be better. When I go for my VOP, they'll let me know what my expected due date is. Right now, it's looking like mid-January. So, like, according to my app, right, it's looking like January 19th. So, if, you can recall, this, Aduba's birthday is December 18th. So, it's like right now, my husband, he is not allowed to touch me in April because, this seems like a trend or pattern. And after this, it's a wrap. So far, I have told a few close friends and family. I'm just letting folks know because the prayer that I have requested and the good vibes that I'm requesting is really coming from a space of preparing me. I'm not really concerned about baby, but it's just where I am. Pray for me, y'all. Like, send me some good vibes because, this one just felt like, this one hit different. It kind of felt like I'm taking one for the team, so to speak. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's my husband, on the other hand, I'll just let y'all know, he is over the moon, elated. He is like, are we telling anybody? And I'm like, look, if you want to tell folks, you can tell folks. It's okay. He is very, very excited. He really, really, really wants a son. But just wanted to come in and let you all know I have a PSA, a pregnancy surprise announcement. And I guess stay tuned again. And we'll get through this, or I'll get through this. Y'all help your girl out. All right, love you. Bye.